I'm just stood by the chip counts board at the minute. As you can see, we've got some okay chip stacks. Here. They're doing all right, you know. Notably, Jaffa Cake, our Ladbrokes sponsored player, he's actually on 700,000. The last check, he was third in chips. Not sure what he is now, but he's got to be up there. So good luck, Jaffa Cake.
It's been a very good day so far. I built up from 175 to the start to about 320, and I was on quite a table with short stacks. Knocked a couple of people out, and then the chip leader moved to my table, who's got 800,000 and got camera crews following him around and all sorts. And I didn't really want to tangle with him too much, but I won one pot off him where I flopped a set against him. And then we just played a very big hand just before the break. He limped in with aces for 1600s. I made it 6,000 on the button with queens. He flat called my raise. It came queen deuce 3 rainbow. He checked. I bet 7,000. He made it 20,000. I made it 50,000. He moved all in for 700,000. I've got 320. I've got the nuts, so I call. And now I must be close to chip lead, I guess. 2 blanks on the river and the turn in the river.
There's several people here who've qualified through some of the free roll or very low entry level tournaments and played their way up. There are other people here who are professionals who are sponsored and have their entry fees paid for them. And there's a huge gamut of poker players, old, young, male, female, all coming together in the common love of poker.
Everyone is so nervous. People are shaking, you know, and I'm shaking too. But you know, I was able to steal a lot of lines because people are you just got to force yourself to bet and you win the pot basically. And that's what the shiniest guy, he had the balls to bet, and I know that, you know, and I felt, I have a great stack and I cannot play this guy because I can tell he's not that good, you know, he's just overcommitting ships, and well, yeah, just didn't work out.
I'm in 141. I started in 85, so yeah, the last 2 hours have just been folding all the time. I didn't get any cards, but I doubled up with aces versus Sakai had a king, so I'm keeping good.
Pretty amazing, actually. I don't think you can really comprehend what it's like. You can play online, you can play multiple table tournaments, you can see the lists of names in the hand history and the tournament history. But when you see this many people sitting down in one place, and the chirp of cicadas, which is basically just people playing with their chips in the background, it is quite awesome. You can sort of feel it, taste it, smell it. It's not an unpleasant smell. It's a smell of anticipation and optimism, just up until the point your jacks get cracked by ace king.
Day 3 is going pretty shockingly right now. Day 2 went kind of okay because I went down to 8,000 and then I managed to spin it back up to like 80,000 by the end of yesterday. Came back with 80,000 today, been totally card dead. My best hand all day has been ace queen in 6 hours, which is pretty painful. Blinds down to the huge. I've pushed about 5-6 times now. I haven't been called yet on any of my all-ins, but I'm down to 30,000. When we go back, blinds are 1,500, 3,000. So I've got one move, which is the all-in, but I'm on the button. So I've got like 7-8 hands to make a decision. It's not over yet. I've got chips and a chair, and I'm not planning on going anywhere till someone kicks me out.
And I got an awful bad beat when I picked up pocket sevens. This flop came 7-5-3. The other guy was a donk, and he called with the kings when I pushed all in, and he obviously hit a king, and I was like, out. And yeah, now I'm going to drink, so it's okay.
762 million. And I think I've got chances now of getting through to the final table. If I get through to the final table, what I'm going to do, with whatever money I get, I'm going to give it to you, film crew, because you have been the absolute dogs.
A little bit of advice for anyone playing for the first time in the World Series of Pub.
Well, all I can tell you is what I did, and I got here a few days early, familiarised myself with the layout of the hotel, had a good wander around, had a lie by the pool, just get used to the heat outside, which is not a big problem because you're obviously inside. I was playing my first day 1C, so on day 1A, I got up as if I was going to join into day 1A, and I followed the players into the hall. I did the Green Mile walk down to the Amazon room. I filed in with the players, got the razzmatazz, got the mayor saying shuffle up and deal, went to watch the table where I was going to be, I'd been allocated for the 2 days' time, and just so that when you walk in, you're not in a completely new environment. And then obviously over the next couple of days, just really try to watch the tournament as it was progressing, just to get a feel of what sort of cards people are tabling, what the sort of not the standard of play, but just it's all information, and sometimes you don't know how you assimilate it, but unless you stick it in, you can't assimilate it. And sometimes you get these little light bulbs come on telling you to do something, and that's all you can do really.
Just play your normal game, and you see many people. This was the first really big mistake I made in the whole tournament, but you gotta play tight though. It's hard to keep, if you're gonna have a really aggressive game, it's hard to keep it up for so many hours. You make a mistake sooner or later, so keep tight and wait for a hand, and hopefully you get lucky, and double up. That's it.
It depends a lot about what sort of stakes you're playing, whether you're playing cash or tournaments, and I think because I'm mainly a tournament player. So there are the classic adages. Never put your whole tournament life on one pair. Continuation bet. If the board looks scary to you, it's scary to somebody else. Stick a bet in. And basically, online is fantastic because you can leap around the room, laughing your head off, and no one knows. You've got nothing. They can't see it. You've got a good hand. They can't see it. And having said that, I would actually advocate, if you're thinking about moving on from online poker to live tournaments, when you play online, play the same game you have to play live. Have that poker face. Be aware of everything your body's doing. Be aware of your head movements, or eye movements, or hand movements. Remember that there are people out here who've played poker for years and years and years and years, and they can look at you and they can see what you're doing, and they may get a read on you. I mean, it's very subjective. It's never just the read. It'll be the sequence of betting, your position, how you played in the past. They're looking for things that just don't ring true. And when they latch onto that, if they latch onto weakness, or they latch onto the fact that something doesn't quite smell right, then they're gonna raise you, whether they've got anything or not. And if you've got nothing, you've got to put your hand down. So it's like practice. And obviously if you can get live experience before you turn up at the WSOP, so much the better.